What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period. The girls that get it, and the girls that don't. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday or whatever.
Where y'all went? Y'all was not listening to that last episode. I know we was gone for a few weeks, but no, I know that ain't all it take for y'all to hit the road running now. Dang, we can't say no bright. It's strict around here. Welcome y'all to another episode of OD Podcast. Oh yeah, you was just in Mexico.
Y'all have a lot to talk about.
Okay, you was in Mexico with Flo the Millie.
Yeah, I was celebrating Flo Millie's birthday. It was great. I don't want to say I didn't have fun, but you know, I'm the type of person where like I can't go to places more than once unless it's Six Flags.
Ooh, and you were Six Flags up and down, child.
Mind your business.
I legit don't understand why you love Six Flags. Like when I work somewhere, I think the IKEA is the only place I've repeatedly gone back to after leaving working there. But Six Flags is one of them girls where I just don't even get excited no more. But I understand that, it's some people like, as much as I love Iceland, if and when I go back, I need to do different stuff because it's so beautiful and I want that feeling to stay the same. But if I keep going back, I'm gonna be too acclimated. And it's like that excitement is gone away. But I feel like that when people on the timeline go to the same place, like I'm not even stunned a lot of places. Like I was telling you the other day, I'm not really pressed to go to DR or PR because I'm just like everybody gonna be on the bamboo boat.
That's in Jamaica.
Well, I knew that right when I said it too, but I was gonna let it ride in case everybody had it. I've been to Jamaica too, so
I've been there. But no, it was cool though. I will say that Tulum is probably one of the most beautiful places in Mexico. It's also the most expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, which I hate because it's like, dang, you can get those experiences in different places, but when it comes to like, if you're a person who appreciates fine dining out the country, like I do, like one of my main things going out the country is to try food that I haven't tried before and go to fancy restaurants and then also just be a tourist, I mean, regular.
That's good that you appreciate food when you travel because one thing about me, y'all got ice cream. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so this time when I went, I actually tried octopus for the first time. So I had octopus.
Oh, really? You had it in the Bahamas?
No.
But that's snail. Oh my God.
I didn't even eat it.
You
talking about conch. I eat conch all the time.
But it's not even octopus. So you never had calamari?
That's squid.
Oh my God, let me just shut up. Let me just
So because people but you're not that person that said it because when I said it, I'm like, people like you had calamari. I'm like, that's squid.
That's crazy though, because I think I assumed it was octopus all these years. All my life.
No. It's squid. So squid is calamari. And then octopus legs. Well, I had a octopus leg. It was grilled. It had like it was grilled till it was crispy, and it had like a sweet and spicy sauce on it. It was so good. Let me tell you something. I've always wanted to try it because people that eat it always say how better it is than calamari and how you don't have to eat it fried because calamari you can't eat it not fried. Well, I don't because I don't like that.
And the calamari, I mean, what's the point? You gotta. I don't. It ain't for me, but go ahead.
So, it was actually way better than calamari. Like I loved it. I would definitely eat it.
Wow. Now, did you ask for it or was it just available?
Yeah, I asked for it.
You said, you're a little bit more open-minded with food. I'm not.
Yeah. So I had two things that I haven't had before. I had octopus and I had branzino, which is fish.
Is that a type of fish?
Yeah, the type of fish is called branzino. It looks like a small trout. But most restaurants, when they serve it grilled and they serve it as a whole fish with the head.
Oh, like remember Costa Rica when you wanted that red snapper real bad?
And I got it, and it was so good.
Yeah, but that one night we went to that restaurant, it was closed.
Yeah, I was mad. I was really mad.
You was real mad.
But yeah, so
Dang.
I did enjoy myself. The house that we stayed in was
Oh
really
my God, that house was fire. I feel like you ain't even do it justice on the and I would have been posting them Airbnb pictures like that with mine so everybody can get an idea how it looked.
yeah, like it was crazy.
You
What
should
else we
start
do?
doing TikToks, man. That would have been a nice little TikTok like day in the life or something.
That's true. Maybe I'll do one this weekend. I go to Arizona this weekend.
Yeah, just do day in the life of a makeup artist, a millennial makeup artist.
Well,
Just
see, the
do,
thing is, I wasn't really working. I only worked one day because she had a photographer come, and then I did
that's
her
fine
makeup.
though. This is a vacation. You get to take a break. Just people really like those day in the life things. And I think you do, especially with your travel, you do some interesting stuff. So I think you don't have to, but it'd
This
be
is true.
cool. And people get paid from TikTok.
This true. Okay. This true. I do have a lot of stuff coming up that is very exciting.
All you need to do is record 2 to 3 seconds of random stuff. You ain't got to record whole videos because you could just stick them all together and it'll do it for you.
They're true. I feel you. Just hold on a little while longer.
Okay. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
So I did get some more things for my DIY kit. I don't know if y'all listened to the last episode or not, but recently I bought
Somebody did, but
you
not
know
enough.
I had I bought a lot of tools from Home Depot to start hanging things on my wall, like shelves and stuff like that. And then I have like some poles I need to put up. But I was gonna pay somebody to do it. So I'm starting to learn how to do that by myself. So I've been watching a lot of videos on that. So yeah, we about to get into that. I'm about to be hanging up. I'm about to actually make some artwork from my wall too. It's getting real DIY over here.
That's I think that making your own art is that's what I did for my bathroom. A lot of stuff I think that's a good idea. That's some TikToks on that too.
So I ended up walking to the Santee Alley, and if you're not familiar with it, it's just an alley. It's like an alley that is like 5 or 6 streets long in the fashion district, and they sell random stuff like for everybody. Like they have like the clothes that you see on Instagram, them boutique clothes. They probably got it from the alley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they have all that stuff. You can. So here's the thing: you can buy the singles from the alley, and you can speak with the people who own the store, and you can they'll have you. Yeah, they'll order like in bulk for a cheap price, and you can get it customized with your name on it, whatever. They'll do it for you. But they sell everything from outfits to lashes to toys to like all those little statues that people have in their homes, like the collectible stuff. They have all that down there. So I ended up going down there just to look. And I got some bears for my couch. Like, this is a bag. Like, I just cut the string off. But I bought a whole bunch of these. They were cheap. But they like book bags for kids.
Oh, I remember I used to have a Dalmatian backpack like that. And a particular person lost it, but I think she stole it. But you're going
to move on. But I ended up buying these toy guns. They were toy Draco.
Okay, hold on.
No, they're literal toys.
You're taking stuff too far.
If I show it to you, you're gonna be like, oh, because it's like pixelated.
You brought the South to the West Coast. You gotta lose that mentality, Draco.
Anywho, girl. So I bought this big picture frame from IKEA. So what I'm gonna do is I bought 3 of them. They're all different colors. I'm gonna put it in there, and then the border, I'm just gonna take pictures of myself since it's a Draco, I guess.
Okay, so the guns is the Draco.
Yeah, it's a Draco. It's literally a Draco.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I hear
so
you.
I'm gonna make that and then just print out a whole bunch of pictures of myself and just put it on the border of it.
Okay, I like that. Wow. Look at you, TikTok it.
Yeah, that's some California stuff because I wouldn't even think about doing that like that in Atlanta, honestly.
Well, you definitely got the gun thing from Atlanta.
I got the gun thing from my name. Okay.
And what city you was in when you got that name? Exactly. All right. So I'm on a mission to man, I got a lot going on. I know last episode I talked about acquiring a property. Long story short, y'all, nationwide real estate is dookie right now. It's terrible. It's either not enough properties or people are the prices having this is the thing. Okay. So I have been looking into buying real estate in different cities, not in Georgia. But these cities because they are kind of low key, they are a little cheaper, but so many people have the same idea that I have. Okay, which is fine. I don't mind being patient or competitive, but then I look back in my own city and it's like, for example, so at one point I never wanted a house. I didn't want a house yet. And so I got a condo because it's low maintenance and I absolutely love my condo. But because I have a dog, I feel like, okay, a house may be necessary, but I'm not trying to spend $400,000 just to have a backyard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really crazy, especially when my condo is half that. And I mean, now what I pay ain't nobody in my whole area paying, period. So it'd be foolish of me to sell. Oh my God, bro. Siri has been getting on my nerve for the longest. Okay. So it just wouldn't make sense for me to sell my place to buy something that's double the price. Like to me, I think a lot of times people, they'll start making more money and they start to spend more money. So you really don't see a lot of money coming in or getting stacked. And I don't want to be that person. So I'm trying to get out of my head about this. So at first I was like, okay, I'll buy myself a house and I'll rent out my current property and that'll be my investment property, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just not enough money that's going to be coming from my investment property that's going to justify spending so much money. Because the thing is, I have to live in the area I live in now. This is the only place I want to live. I love it and that's where I want to stay. So now I'm like, okay, let me just go back to the investment property thing. But it's like, man, if you not it's really companies buying up houses and you can't really compete with that because they don't have a budget. They just going for whatever. So now I'm just like trying to find other ways. I'm just trying to find other ways to invest my money, man. And I looked into buying certain businesses and stuff like that, which is still possible, but it's just so much going on out here. And my fear is if I continue to take a long time, then it's just gonna get even more expensive. Like people, a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for the housing market to crash," but I don't think people understand what that means. Like when it happened last time, there were a lot of conditions that had to occur for the housing market to crash. And a lot of that has to do with banks giving out money without having enough information. That does not happen anymore. Because of that, banks are very strict on who they give money to. So you have to really prove that you can afford this house. That was not happening before. Number two, with the housing market crashing, that means people have no job. So you can wait for it to crash to buy a house, but you ain't even got the income to acquire it. And number three, with the market crash, and that means interest rates go up. So yeah, go ahead and get a cheap house and your interest rate gonna be 99.99. So I know it might be cool for people to say that, but I'm like, y'all, this is completely different. Real estate is going up and it's gonna stay up, especially with the cost of living going up. So it's just kind of like you either buy today's price or you pay even more for tomorrow's price. And I'm not trying to be the one paying tomorrow's price. I say all that to say is I'm trying to buy something now because it's growing so fast. But I just don't want to be in a position where I'm paying so much and I live alone. It's just me and my dog. Like I don't think Hazel need a backyard bad enough for me to be spending $500,000 on a house. That's just not realistic.
That's very true.
So I'm in that's the position I'm in right now. I love my condo. I've been here 2 years now. And it's literally perfect for me. But I just, I know Hazel don't give a darn. But to me, ideally, I want to be able to let her just run around in the backyard. But I guess that's a first world problem. But that's just what's been on my agenda this week, this month, this year.
Another thing that's been on my agenda is finding a freaking barber. So on this week's episode of Finding a Barber in LA for Draco, on the last episode, I talked about how I had a dilemma with my barber. I tried to find a new barber. They ended up working in the same shop as the barber that I was using, and he actually was sitting next to him. So
I've been there before.
This week, I found 2 barbers on Instagram.
Okay.
I had some downtime in Mexico because I didn't go swim with the dolphins. Everybody went swim with dolphins. I'm scared of fish. I'm not going.
Yeah, I don't blame me. I can't even swim, but I love dolphins. So I would have been right with you looking at barbers.
So I was looking at barbers. Today, I found out that both of the barbers work in that same fucking...
You are lying. Is that the only barbershop in LA?
So all the popping barbers apparently work in there, period. Now, the sad part is I chose the one that isn't as good as the ones that I'm seeing now.
Hey.
So it's kind of like I'm stuck with him.
No, you're not.
I'm not necessarily stuck.
Take your glasses off next time.
It's not gonna work.
You think he gonna confront you though?
It's just weird. Like I would feel weird. So
no,
I don't know. He probably don't even care for real, but I just feel weird,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah, I found somebody that was really good today, and lo and behold, this.
Now, how big is this barbershop? Because do you think they see each other eye to eye?
you ever had? You never been to Salon Ramsey, have you?
Yeah, of course.
It's giving
Riri used to
Salon
do
Ramsey.
hair out of there.
So it's giving Salon Ramsey, but these are actual barbershops instead of like suites.
Mm.
So the barbershop has about 40 chairs in it. And apparently it's an upstairs too. Because when I was up there last time, they had upstairs. So it's like
Who upstairs? We need to go to them.
it's about 30 chairs downstairs.
Okay, that's
And
a lot
then
though.
that's a lot because that's normal
I can see
barbershops don't
how
have.
all of them work in the same barbershop. It's like, because I can't even tell you 30 hairstyles in Atlanta, that's 5. So I can imagine them all being in the same shop.
It's like it's very Instagrammy too. Every barber chair has a ring light. Like every chair has the same ring light.
Is that good for
And
your eyes?
it's good for their Instagram. It's very
Right.
Instagram.
Right. The pictures do be
So
looking
then
fly.
next door to it, they have it's called whatever the barbershop is called. They have one for natural hair for like locks. If you get your locks done,
Oh, so
they
you
just
can just
opened
get it
that
all
one.
done in the same visit, kind of.
Yeah, and then next door to that, they have a hair salon, and then across the street they have another hair salon. So all with the same name.
It's
So
the
they
hair
own it.
district.
Nah, it's just downtown. It's what's not downtown. It's on Wilshire, which is like, I guess that will be North Hollywood or something. I don't know.
Okay. So what you
But
gonna do?
I don't know.
That's so
So I
awkward.
have to get a haircut tomorrow because I'm going out of town again this weekend.
And you think they have last minute bookings out there, or they're not like Atlanta?
Yeah, now out here it's not like Atlanta. Atlanta is just like my barber in Atlanta. I have to book him a whole week in advance because he fill up. Like these people out here, I can text the dude and ask him, could I come today? And he'll be like, yeah, sure.
I feel like you probably not the first person that's been in this predicament, but I can understand from your position is you already don't went twice to a second person and then kind of folded and had to go to the other person. But I think that you should just take your glasses off.
He's good. The barber is good. I just seen better work, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, I want to. I look at my hair type. I look at my hairstyle. Like I have to look at people with similar hairstyles as me, similar beard shapes. So that's how I kind of choose. And so it's not that he can't cut my hair, but I just feel like the other dudes, they have more clients that deal with my style of hair.
Yeah. I feel do what you do. You get the first available booking and hope he be the only one there.
I'm not doing that no more. I'm gonna just go to him one more time. I'm gonna keep going to him till I find somebody.
But if the person that's better is in the same shop, it's gonna be even harder to go to somebody else.
I don't. What do you want me to do?
It's between you and the Clipper gods. I feel like I'm finally in a place where I've been for a minute, but my go-to hairstyles for different kind of styles. And I can't even imagine having to find somebody else. Like even my wax lady, I love her so much. And I had been considering getting laser, but I'm like, dang, I'm not gonna go to Taylor no more. And then laser not permanent, which is fine. But I'm like, I don't spend so much money on waxes in 10 years. I could have got the whole hood laser. Literally.
Yeah. I found a nail salon. They did pretty good on my feet. They didn't use the cheese grater like I wanted them to, but
apparently the cheese grater, you're not supposed to use it, but it works. So
yeah, I just buy my own.
use a food processor, honey. Whatever it takes, get these rocks off my feet. All right. So let's hop into the episode. Do you have a black business of the week?
Yeah, I do. So lately I've been really, really wanting to get tattooed. Now, if you know me, I get tattoos pretty often. And I go to the same person, Debbie, back in Atlanta, but she's in Atlanta. And I don't think that I would be going to Atlanta anytime soon. So now I have to find other people in my area who are really good. Now, as far as my tattoos and piercings and stuff like that, I pretty much only go to women. I don't have a reason why that is. I just feel safer. I feel like women are more gentle. I feel more comfortable having conversations with them while I'm getting a service done. I just enjoy female energy. Don't know. So anywho, one of my Instagram followers, well, I've been following her for at this point years. And I'm trying to remember if I followed her during the MySpace days because it's been that long.
Mm-hmm.
But she's originally from Dallas, and she just got to LA maybe a little bit before I got here, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that. But she is a tattoo artist, and when I tell you that her tattoos are so perfect that they look like stickers.
Oh
So,
wow! Even on darker
so
skin.
even on dark, that's what I was about to get at. So I don't have color in any of my tattoos because I just don't think that over time that looks good on my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, and I love more traditional style tattoos. Just because I feel like those age better instead of me getting like Winnie the Pooh and then 10 years from now, it's like, dang, that's ugly. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So all my tattoos for the most part are like traditional style tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
But I now consider getting something outside of that because of how good her work is. So she only does cartoon style work. That's what she calls it. So she only does like cartoon and anime style tattoos. But I enjoy it because she literally is one of the only people that I've seen that's able to put just about any color on black skin and it looked good. Like I said, it looked like a sticker. I'm about to send it to Alicia so she can get into it.
Oh yeah, this is fire.
Crazy. It's
Dang, it look
insane.
like
So,
remember the little cartoon tattoos we used to get with the chewing gum?
yeah, like it don't even look real.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
um I'm gonna be doing getting a tattoo from her pretty soon. I haven't made my appointment yet because my schedule right now is so all over the place, y'all. But I'm grateful. I can't wait to start like working. But whatever. We'll get to that. But yeah, so check her out. Her name on Instagram is Crystals with a K. So KRYSTALS _ tatted, and she is um in Dallas and LA. So she works back and forth. I think
Oh
she
yeah,
has
sister
a
follow them
shop.
too.
You said my sister?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, probably because I'll be posting her work on my story all the time.
She said when she come to LA, she gotta go to her. Okay, cool. I will put the information in the episode notes. All right, let's get into shop talk. First things first, they found a second and a third suspect in the Young Dolph case. Oh my god! First of all, they got the main guy who the page has said did it. Then they got a second guy, and the third guy they got basically is the one snitching. And so, all I got to say is get used to it, buddy. Get used to it. So the guy who was snitching apparently got his charges. His charges are considered an accessory, but it's just really, honestly, overall, for real, it's really sad. Like the main guy who they were looking for, he went on a run. He thought he was gonna have a take hey situation, gonna drop a song, and told somebody he gonna turn himself in. It just is really lame, and it's just I just try to think about the mindset that you got to have to be an actual killer and to carry on that way on social media. Like you took somebody off this earth and you are going to be in prison for the rest of your life. But I guess prison is not really scary because that's where your people probably at. Like, are people scared of prison? I don't understand.
No. Most of the time people aren't scared of prison. They don't like jail. So
Yeah,
it's
true. Fed is
different.
I hear Fed is a lot better.
Yeah. None
But it's
of it is
just,
better
but
for me, but
just
it's just
think about not being able to live this free life. You know what I'm saying? It's like one thing if something happened that was an accident, but you know for sure if you kill somebody, you're going to prison. Obviously, you can skip town or do whatever you got to do, but in reality, you kill somebody, you go to prison. You know what I'm saying? So it's like why is killing that person more important than your freedom? I never understand it. I know people do it every day. They're not gonna stop, but it's just crazy because they were so young. Well, at least he was so young.
the
The
one boy was
Cornelius guy
young,
was,
yeah.
yeah. It's a shame, but I just think it's a mentality, and there's some people I've grown up with, and it's like, some people they don't really fear anything. They don't even fear death themselves because they just kind of have been psyched out because of stuff they experience. So I can understand how they're able to remove the emotion from that, but it's just sad that people are they are mentally in that place. But
Mm.
anyhow,
Mm.
what you got?
So I actually have two. So the first one, the Jennifer Hugh is how you say that? anyway, and Jennifer Hugh, who is the suspect who Kenneth Petty.
Oh yeah, suspect,
I mean, not suspect. You know what I'm trying to say. She was the
victim.
victim of the sexual assault from Kenneth Petty. She voluntarily dismissed the harassment case charges.
Yeah, I saw
So
that, and I tried to avoid the comments, but I couldn't help it. I need people to understand. She number one, she voluntarily dismissed, and it probably was hard to go up against somebody like. I mean, even though she's not, it's not just Nicki Minaj or it's not just Kenneth Petty. It's probably like when people talk about like suing the city or suing these big corporations, those people have a lot of money and a lot of influence. So it's really tough for somebody like a regular Joe Schmo to think that they finna go to court with them and get what they want. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so for her to voluntarily dismiss, I mean, it could have been any reason, but my assumption is she probably felt like it just wasn't worth it. It probably was causing more pain than it was necessary. And even though that doesn't invalidate what she said happened to her, but unfortunately, when your case is dismissed or you dismiss a case, it makes it seem like it was BS.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. I'm like, that doesn't mean that what she's saying is fake, but that's what the majority is gonna probably think or associate it with, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I see Nicki Minaj tweeted that unicorn icon emoji. I think it's lame. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I get sticking beside your man, but this situation is very odd. Let's just say that. But she also dated Safari, so odd is normal.
Uh, anyway, moving on. So Young Thug and now Gunna have both been kicked off a private plane. They were catching a private plane. They have a show tonight in New York, and they were taking a jet to New York, and they got kicked off a plane today, and they allegedly were just racially profiled. But who's to say what really happened? I don't like to talk down on my black men. However, being amongst rappers and stuff like that, I do understand that a lot of those planes and tour buses and things like that they invest in, um, they like to do certain things that some pilots may be okay with because they're getting paid so much money. Like, if I'm not mistaken, those pilots are getting paid like what?
I mean, it could be as much as 30 to 50 grand just to charter a jet. So they're getting paid a lot. And this could be
They're
a
getting a
2 hour
lot.
flight.
Yeah. So they play, the artists themselves are paying, like you said, $30,000 to $50,000 just to fly on it alone. So in their head, they're like, bitch, I'm doing whatever I want to do on it.
Yep.
You
That's
know what
what
I'm saying?
you're right. They feel empowered because of the money.
And it's like I'm doing whatever I want to do on here. And those pilots are like, whatever, they're okay with it. But for good reason, especially when dealing with things like drugs or stuff around that, I would honestly feel unsafe too, because that could get you in trouble.
Yeah, and and once you in the air, what you gonna do? This ain't like no commercial play. I'm playing when you got several staff members and stuff like that.
Yeah. So they online campaigning there, and granted, they might have been racially profiled.
Yeah,
I definitely feel it. I was racially profiled last week, and I had to kind of sweep it under the rug because I don't really know nobody out here. I'm new.
Dang, that happened at PetSmart to me too a couple weeks ago.
It happened at Home Depot. When I was buying those tools from Home Depot, um, in my head, I'm like, I'm buying like basic stuff. I'm buying a drill. I'm buying like, screws and stuff to go on the wall. I'm buying a stuff finder, like little stuff like that. Like I probably had like $150 worth of stuff, which is nothing. And I went to the self-checkout because it was only like 6 items or 5 items.
I do the same thing. And I be going up there with 20 items. What y'all gonna do? Is self-checkout.
Yeah. So when the girl was signing me up for the credit card, she asked me, she said it'll take money off. So she signed me up for the credit card. I had got approved for it. So she took the money off. And then when I was taking the stuff out of the store, she was like, "Did you scan the drill?" I said, Yeah, I did. And so she was like, oh, okay. So then she walked off. And then another coworker came over and he was black, and he was like, "Hi, how you doing?" And I'm like, I'm well."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I just wanted to see how much the credit card was approved for, or something like that." Like trying to basically throw me off so he can read the receipt.
Right, which is none of your business. Actually, that's actually literally private information.
He was like, "Did you get a?" It was a different. He was trying to see if I got approved for one type of car or another, but he was just using it to distract me to read my receipt
Yeah.
to make sure that I paid for the drill or scanned the drill. And I'm like, I don't have to steal a drill.
So what did they say?
Nothing. I said, I don't know. So he was like, "Oh, well, look, can I see your receipt to make sure that you got the right one?" Showed him the receipt. He looked at it and he saw it, felt stupid, and let me out the door.
See, I hate that. That's a shame because they probably looked at your style, your demeanor, and tried to assume that. I went to
Yeah.
return, so I had bought when Hazel got spayed. I had to get her a bigger cage so she can sleep with her neck donuts because it's like it takes up space. So anyway, I bought a too big one. I bought one for an extra large dog when she needed a size down. So basically, yeah, I took it in there. I had a screenshot of my receipt because the receipt for PetSmart is in an email and it's
Mm-hmm.
not a PDF receipt. So I just screenshotted a portion of the email that had the barcode. So anyway, I go in there and the girl at the register literally goes on a mic. Can I get a manager to the front for fraud? Literally, literally. So anyway, long story short, it's just
Excuse me?
excuse me is correct, okay? And mind you, this is my thing. And let's just assume worst case scenario. First of all, I got everything I need to do this return. I got the receipt. I had to put in my phone number for you to even connect this transaction to my purchase, which is also going to show this receipt. Number two, I literally have the email with the receipt in it. Number three, I have the receipt. So even if I was being fraud, I have the receipt that goes to this product. She was like, "Yeah, well, sometimes people take stuff off the shelf and then they go into the parking lot." I'm like, "What they got to do with me? I literally have done nothing to even give off scammer vibes." And I don't even know if she knew the receipt was a screenshot. It doesn't matter. I have the receipt with this train. Like literally, you're gonna get what I paid for back. I'm gonna get my
Yeah.
money. There's nothing fraudulent about that. And it just was a mess. It was back and forth. So the manager ended up coming up and just apologizing. "Oh, we're gonna train on bias." Because I know it's black. And mind you, I had more stuff that I had actually placed the in-store pickup for. I don't even want it. I don't cancel my order because it literally was so unnecessary. There are people in line. And for you to get on the microphone and say something like that, like you're supposed to be trying to intimidate, that's so unprofessional. And you do
Yeah.
not get paid enough to be the police. Like for real. Even when I remember I used to work at the Apple store. Honey, we ain't chasing you. Listen, I knew I was working with every other customer was a scammer, every last one of them. But if they have a card and the card goes through, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It literally
Yeah.
is what I'm supposed to do. But I'm literally getting a refund on a $60 dog crate. I got bigger fish to fry, baby. That literally will, I don't even want to
They don't
start
understand
flexing.
that. That's what I was saying. I'm like, first of all, I got the cheapest drill that they sell.
And what you
The
gonna
drill,
do? Because I'm pretty sure he
the
wouldn't even have to
drill
do
was on
that.
sale for $35. What the
And
fuck am I
I'm
finna
pretty
pay
sure
for?
not $35. And I'm
It
pretty sure
was.
but you know what? I knew somebody who stole a $7 flashlight from Walmart. But sorry.
Take so too far.
But I just feel like number one, I'm pretty sure he was out of line for even doing that. You're not loss prevention. You are literally a uniform employee. And number two, it's just like I'm really see stuff like that. And it's like, do you really want to go through the effort of complaining? It's so repetitive. It happens so much. It's like, why? But I know for sure they
Yeah,
thought I
and
was
it's
fraud
so
because I
much.
was
It's so
black and
much.
I came up in there in this baggy Nike sweatsuit. I had a hat on. I got on Crocs. I look like I ain't got nothing going for myself, which shouldn't. It doesn't even matter. That shouldn't even matter. But yeah, definitely use the word fraud right on the microphone. I'm like, oh, so what?
That's insane.
And I had just bought that crate that same day. It's just
Yeah.
really sad. And it was, let me tell you, that crate was so heavy. I had to get help putting it in my car. So you think I'm finna go through all that effort to come up here and get $60?
Yeah.
And you can look at my history at PetSmart. Let me tell you something. Every other day I'm in there getting something. And I can't even be like, oh, I'm gonna just start going to Chewy. Chewy is a PetSmart company. I'm just like, but it
And my
sucks because
thing about it is, um, I just got approved for that card. I could have just put it on that card.
literally. And my thing, exactly. You gave them your social security number. Like, what the
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck
Oh
would I do
man,
that for? It just was
that's
a mess. And let me just double back and just I don't want it to seem like I'm just that I'm being a person that's judging Young Thug and Gunna just
oh
because
yeah, because we shows
of
that was the what we was talking about.
yeah. I don't want to make it seem like I'm judging them just based off of who they are and what they've done. But like I said, I just know rappers. I don't want to just automatically say that the man is wrong. But at the same time, shit like that does happen a lot, especially
Yeah.
dealing with people who have money or people who can afford certain things. People they are very racist towards black people with money.
Yeah, and I feel, and
Yeah.
also people with money seem to have a sense, especially people on Ghana and Third level. They have a sense of it. I mean, I worked with Young Thug, and this was way before where he at now, and it was an interesting experience. Let's just say that. But sometimes people feel like, you don't remember when I told you about when he used to come in my store at Lemons,
No.
the shoe store? It don't matter. So anyway, I just think that sometimes people have a sense of entitlement, and it's like, how dare you?
I do remember. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, just was interesting, and he wasn't necessarily rude, but he definitely gave off this my world, you a peon in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
don't do that.
yeah, it's just, but that's how people get. Sometimes people just feel, and he probably, don't forget, Young Thug was that dude before he was rapping. So, he just, whatever. It just was like, I actually didn't watch the videos of them talking to the pilot or whoever he was. I feel cringe in them kind of videos. So I just read the caption and kept it pushing.
Yeah. This isn't new news, but I just so the past 2 weeks I've been watching just interviews of artists that I like. I do this all the time. I used to do this all the time. So like, say for instance, if I find myself enjoying SZA's album, I'm like, you know what? Let me watch some of her interviews, see what type of person she is, because her music is very good. Like it's very creative. The stuff she talk about, I can relate to. I just want to know what type of person she is in real life. So these last couple weeks, I've been watching Doja Cat interviews, Tyler the Creator, and Issa Rae.
Oh, today her birthday. Happy
Today
birthday,
is her
Issa.
birthday. You know what's so crazy? I actually was gonna hit you up because they posted her baby picture, and her baby picture looks just like yours.
Okay, let me go see. I'm sick
And
of
I was
y'all.
like, this is further
Who
proof.
posted it?
Let me go see.
But go ahead while you do that.
But so I was watching Issa Rae's Breakfast Club interview, right? And they were basically, Charlamagne was like trying to like, oh, we need to bring in some bottles in here because we need to toast.
Oh yeah, they had got her the balloons and everything.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we need to toast because we got she just signed a $300 million deal, da, 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 da. And she was looking so uncomfortable, like, oh my God. He just kept asking her about money.
Oh,
Like,
this
oh my
dude
God.
look like me. I just Googled Issa Rae baby pictures. This is actually terrible.
Bro.
Get me out of
Alicia,
here. That's
Alicia.
crazy. And I never felt like I looked like her. I felt like I could see it, what people see, but dang. And my son, Alicia Rae.
So, yeah, like I never really knew about her childhood or just like what she actually, anything before college. So I'm like, let me just look up her stuff and just see. Oh, and I've been watching Zendaya stuff too because I've been watching Euphoria. So Issa Rae's interview just really inspired me. Her Breakfast Club one because of just the way she moves. She was just saying how because she apparently signed a $300 million deal. I don't know what for. They didn't get into the details.
I think it's an all over deal. Like she basically like kind of like what she
whatever
did.
she want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she didn't really want to talk about it though, because she was just feeling like they was all in her
That's
business.
how she is. And he kept dropping the dollar amount. I'm like, okay, this
yeah. And I'm like, girl. But one thing I thought that was really funny was how they kept bringing up her marriage, and she was like, oh, the photo shoot.
That was me. That was me. that whole part of the interview was me. I'm like, exactly.
It was like, yeah, we just decided to have a photo shoot. We went out the country. Randomly, our friends was there, and they had the same dress on. So, I was like, dang, that's so weird. Why y'all got the same dress? But it was fun. She was like,
I love that. And I'm glad she doing that because when I said I'm crazy, I'm being,
I honestly don't think that you're crazy. And I think it's just because me personally, I know the shit that you went through before in past relationships and I know how like public it was for the most part and the things that went on.
And it wasn't even nearly as bad
Very
as what a lot of folks deal with, but it was enough for me to be like, that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Even people that you weren't in a relationship with,
Yeah.
it was still a lot. So I get it. I understand.
Oof, triggering.
I understand. Trust me. I look at that and I learn from that, from other people and myself.
It's just, in reality, it's nobody's business. All her best friends know, her family know. And honestly, who got time to invite all these people to your wedding? They don't even care. They just want to be there to be there. They don't even care for real. And South of France, that's a mood. I thought it was fine. Keep hiding. And the thing is, she has publicly talked about him and she's been on red carpets with him before, but I just feel like in reality, it's nice to know these things because you're a public figure, but it don't have nothing to do with my work.
At all. And I admire her. I was just listening to how she talked. I just admire how she moves. Like she was just talking about how because they were asking her like what big purchases has she made.
Oh yeah, I forgot what she said.
And she was just saying how she spends her money on food. Like that's me. She was like, she was saying like when it comes to clothes and shoes and stuff like that, she was like, a lot of this stuff go back to the store. She was like, I mean, just being honest, she's like, I got a stylist. And then on top of that, people send you stuff for free. So it's no point in me even keeping that stuff because I'm not going to wear it again. So just send it back. Like, I don't need to keep
that's
that.
Also a mood.
Yeah.
One thing about me,
you know what? She is right. Like, she's so right. And what's crazy is a lot of inspiration for my fashion comes from celebrities or like just public figures or whatever. I get a lot of inspo from them. But in reality, they don't even be paying for that stuff. This is the reason why they don't, because of people like me who see it, and
that's all you needed. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I want that, and I'm gonna wear it different. I said it every time.
So it's okay for stylists to just return the stuff they pick. I guess it's no different from us, but these people wearing it to events where they probably was sweaty and all kinds of
stuff. It just depends. So the way styling works is you're not returning it to a store, you're returning it to a showroom. So when you have a showroom, they buy it from these stores and they have all this stuff. And so you can return it to the showroom and they'll clean it. And then now Atlanta isn't like that because we don't have access to a lot of designers and we don't have access to a lot of store pulling. This is the reason why Jeremy is like top in Atlanta because he's able to actually go to these stores and pull stuff and return it.
Oh, that's what's up.
But the showrooms that in Atlanta, I'm not gonna name them names because I ain't talking down on black businesses. Figure it out. But I've heard horror stories. I've sent people to some showrooms in Atlanta and they're like, man, dress was musty, had stains, ripping.
My God.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fur was stank. And they're charging too much money for this stuff. But that's how styling works. Even with the shoes, sometimes they have to keep it just because of maybe the store it came from. But they have things that you put on the bottom of it so that way it won't scuff up. Things are on the inside so you won't sweat out the logo.
It's so crazy how much, when you think about it, because I actually thought about this early, like the more money you have, the less money you really have to spend. Like I be thinking about how I be running up, like getting so many like rewards from different apps, different credit cards to where I don't actually spend no money. And I be thinking like when I was really down bad, all this would have came in handy.
Yeah, but
it's
you like can't get that unless you spend money.
Exactly.
Yeah, or if you have money.
Yep. And so when you think about these celebrities who are rich or close to rich, whatever the case is, their influence is the currency. So they really are shaping culture by doing something that they ain't have to come out of pocket for. And it's like that's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. But she was saying that she spent money on food. She was like, I really enjoy fine dining. Like she was like, I look at a purse and I'm like, okay, the purse is cute, but I don't want the purse. But she was like, I will. Yeah, she was like, I'll go to a restaurant and they're like, oh, so this is a burger dipped in 14 karat gold foil. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna try that. She's like, the burger is $500, but she's like, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I get it. And that's more of an experience. So sometimes stuff like that has
Yeah.
a longer lasting impact.
And she said she spent money on traveling. That's another thing.
Mood.
Uh, I mean, like just looking at stuff like that. I think I just like to people who I feel like I can relate. So I just like to see how they move and their way of thinking. Like even with Doja Cat, I feel like people think that she's a weirdo. Like everybody just thinks that she's so
Well,
weird.
she kind
But
of is.
I mean, she is. I mean, she's a weirdo. But I think I actually listen to and I read her lyrics and I listen to her lyrics and her songs sometimes, and I'm like, she got to be a certain type of person to come up with some shit like that, or just even think like that. Even Tyler, the creator, he even said that his situation is similar to Issa Rae's. Like he was saying how he doesn't spend his money on private jets. Like he can afford that. He's like, I've been broke before,
It's
and
a
he was
literal waste of money. You could pay $200 to get to the same place.
yeah. He's like, I don't spend private jets. He's like, I'm not going broke again. So that he's not doing that. He was saying how like a lot of his clothes that he wears is clothes from his line. And he spends a lot of time and money into making things that he likes, like it fits his style. He says that he gets a lot of his inspiration from 58-year-old European white men. Um, and, yeah, it was very specific. His music taste and his style, like the way he grew up, very, very, very relatable. Like just his artists that he listened to and where he pulls inspiration from. He never left his hometown, which is Los Angeles. He never left LA, went outside of LA until he was like 21 or 20.
Mhm.
And he said that was his first place was he went to New York and he went to, I think he said Paris or something. And he said that it was just a culture shock, but in a good way. He was just like, once he went out of town for the first time, went out of state for the first time, he knew that it was so much shit he had to learn and places he had to go visit that just excited him. He said even like, because he was like, I'm from LA, like I didn't even know that you're supposed to put salt on the ground and it's like salt trucks when it's cold outside. And it's
Oh,
like,
you know what? That can be a culture shock. It's
yeah, he
like
was like,
stuff
I
like
never
that.
knew that.
Yeah. Well, we remember that's why we had that ice storm because they didn't salt the roads.
Yeah, people thought that we were just dumb, but it's like we didn't experience that. We don't have that in Georgia. I mean, we do
Yeah,
now,
we
obviously, but
right. It's not
we
a
didn't
big
really have that before.
concern.
Yeah. And so what's crazy is when I first came into my big lump sum of money, the first thing I did was I booked a trip to New York and I booked a trip to LA because at that time I have been out of Georgia, of course. Like I've been to like cities like North Carolina, Orlando, Alabama,
Mhm.
um, stuff like that. And I think at that time, that's when we went on that cruise to Bahamas too. But we
I
didn't
was
really
just
get
looking
to
at those
explore
pictures this
Bahamas.
week. I swear.
Yeah, we didn't get to really explore Bahamas. We were on the boat most of the time, so I count that.
You
Well,
should. That was my first time on a plane.
oh really?
Yeah, I had never flown until that trip.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh, maybe I did.
Mm.
But no, my
It was
first
me
trip
and
to
Desiree first flight, and we were so scared because of takeoff. It was a lot, and we was in the back of the plane, like some
we
darn.
all was. I remember
I
it was
know.
actually really fun now. But like I spent that money. Well, not all of it, of course, but I booked a trip to New York by myself. I stayed in the hostel for about a week and a half, and I just anything that I seen on the internet in movies, I just went. Like I remember it was this really one of my favorite movies is Party Monster, and in the movie they would hang out at this club called Greenhouse where people would come in literal costumes, like spend hours and hours and hours on costumes just to go out to this bar.
Wow.
And I went there. It was the most amazing experience ever because now the club is closed.
Oh,
But
that's good that you was able to go.
you know what I'm saying? Like now it's gone. And it's like, dang, I really got to experience that. And it's
Yeah,
like
that's
now
fire.
looking at it, I'm just like, it's other places that I just really want to go. So now I said all that to say that I love that. I love to just find people that I kind of relate to, and it just makes me kind of have a different mindset towards certain things. Because I think that in my head, things are supposed to go one way, and then I'm supposed to have this or look a certain way or have this. And even though it's nothing wrong with me being into my image or being into certain things, but I think that now it's so much more that I want to do that I can cut that.
Yeah.
Like I have everything you could think of in my closet. So there's no point in me having to keep rebuying these things or keep buying other stuff that's similar to it because there's no
Yeah.
point. It's like I got enough.
Yeah, I feel you. It's kind of like a minimum mindset. It's like there are some statement things you want to keep, but in reality, a lot of like even when I thought about buying another house, it's like I definitely don't need another house. And for what I'm paying, I need to be grateful
Yeah.
because it
No,
ain't
that's me
coming back.
too.
Yeah. I feel you. It just is like I think it's just once you start having access, it's all I tweeted the other day that it's always something to pay for because I feel like the more access you have, the more money you start to get exposed to different things. You start being interested in more things, and it's just always something else to buy. And it's like you kind of got to stop yourself at some
Man,
point.
tell me about it. I've been running up my credit card um, so much, but what I'm grateful for is that I'm able to. Well, I'm gonna just have to pay it off like little by little. I'm the type of person where like if I use my credit card, I need to have that amount of money in my bank account to pay
Oh
it off
yeah, for sure. You don't
immediately.
ever want to
You
carry a
know?
balance and pay interest.
No, but at this point, I might have to just because I just moved and it's a lot of stuff that I needed and I just need to throw it on the card. But in the middle of me doing that, they raised my limit like four more
That's what
thousand
they
dollars.
do. That's what they do, and keep you. But that's what got me in my little $8,000 that I had in credit card debt. It was like, oh, I got 1,000 more, perfect, because I need to got there.
Now I ain't. Now I'm buying it, using it on stuff I need,
Yeah,
and I know I'm gonna
I
pay it
was
off.
too, child.
I'm gonna pay it off. I'm gonna pay it.
Yeah, do what you gotta
But no,
do.
it's just like I gotta just take this L for a little minute so I can get back to where I was before, especially with saving and all the other stuff. But
Yeah,
I keep getting these trips thrown in my face. Luckily, the trip this weekend to Arizona is 100% expense paid for, and
all
this is
expenses is paid.
all expenses paid for, and this isn't even a work trip. I keep asking. I'm like, do you want me to work? Because I will. I don't know. I feel bad for people paying for me stuff, paying stuff for me. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to just learn to accept things. Like if you're offering that to me and you're like, here, this is a gift to you. I need to be grateful of that gift, take it for what it is, and just move on.
I agree.
And
You know,
stop.
I actually saw a tweet today that said that when people want to do things for you, you should let them. Like it was saying something along the terms of when people have ill intent, you can't really control it or predict it. So when people have good intent, you need to allow it. But I know what you mean. It's tough. Just like for me, it's hard to ask for help if I ever need it. But when people want to do things for me, I just don't want to. It's like, no, it's fine. Even if I was in need, it still would be tough for me to accept it. It's just kind
Yeah,
of like,
that's
I
me
get it.
now. That's me now. But I'm gonna just take it for what it is. And then like my friend Devin works for. He's a flight attendant, and I have the opportunity to go to Cape Town, South Africa for literally $200.
Yeah, you need to do that.
Why would I not?
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Kenya changed my life, and I want to go to every country that exists in that whole continent if I can.
Yeah, why would
Not
I not
every
take
one of
advantage of
them.
that?
Now,
And
hold
that
on.
$200 includes where I'm staying.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would I not?
yeah. Heck
So
yeah.
basically, the house that we're staying in is like $180 each for us to pay for it, and then I just have to pay the taxes on the plane ticket.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That sound about right. That sound like the hookup I had, but
Yeah.
I had other plans. So I have a question because this you bringing up interesting statements. Do you feel like one thing I do think is important, and this is why I hate. I wish there was a way that you could like sometimes I think about the things that we were not exposed to when we were younger. Because I feel like people that people always talk about silver spoon, but I think that with the right level of access, people tend to have more creativity and more familiarity with themselves and who they are. Because I feel like for me, people like me and you, it wasn't until our late 20s that we really started to like tap into that. I mean, we had interest along the way, but like I feel like even with the travel and a lot of that stuff, it's not cheap, and it's like you really start to see like, dang, this is lit, like this is fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just be wishing there was a way that you can make because I feel like I'm trying to think of what the kind of example I'm trying to make. Basically, like there are some people, like I've seen these posts on LinkedIn, people who have like a criminal history, but they go on to college and become lawyers and judges and et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know how accurate it is, but that's what the post said. But I just think that sometimes people, like somebody might go to jail. Like, okay, like in your situation, like you mentioned, like you did makeup because you couldn't get a job. You couldn't even go back to school. You lost your financial aid for going to jail. And so people end up in that reoccurring cycle of just like sticking to like a criminal lifestyle. But if they
Yeah,
had an opportunity to see more things, to do more things, it might spark something different and it'll give them opportunity to remove themselves for that. Not saying it's gonna happen for everybody, but it's a lot of people that I work side by side with in corporate America. And I know they don't did some jacked up stuff, but they had the money and the access to move past it or use some privilege. But it's people, back at home or back in our hood or whatever the case is, and they'll never had the opportunity. And that's probably all they need. Cause sometimes even when I talk to my little brother, I'm like, my brother is so smart, he's talented, he can draw, but he just kind of got that street lifestyle mentality. He just won't tap out of it. But I do genuinely feel like if he was in a position where he could just be around positive things, where he could like actually be developmental, or if that's even a word to use, I think he could be on the right path. But anyway, I think about it a lot because I'm like, I feel so blessed that I've been able to like remove myself from that, but I also want the people that I know to be able to be exposed to it, because they'll always be titled by what they don't have versus like having the ability to like get more.
yeah. I think it's definitely all about your mentality because I think for me, even though at that time like I was struggling so bad, like once I got out of jail, it was pretty much nothing that I could do, because everything required a background check. I couldn't get financial aid like you said, but at the same time, you have to kind of want something for yourself. Like I just use my creativity to make money. Like I knew that I knew how to do makeup and I really enjoyed it, but I never thought about a job in makeup. Like that wasn't really a thing at that time, especially on the scale of the type of money that I wanted to make. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize
Same.
that I could literally get a job in anything around me and make money. Like when you think of makeup, especially during the time you thought about the mall,
Yeah. Going to
Cleopatra.
the club.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't think about the newscasters need makeup artists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
Shoot, I had a makeup artist when I went to court.
yeah, like for real, like TV shows, new the CNN news or the local news, they have makeup artists and hairstylists. Um, working, I mean, it's so many different areas in my field, but also you have to detach yourself with trying to impress the people that's in the hood because
For
that,
sure. You
that
hold
plays a big
yourself
part
back.
into it. So
Yeah.
that's why I had to kind of like change who I was around because of course people that are in the same kind of area as you, most of the times they're gonna have they're gonna be small minded. So they're gonna be like, well, child, the chance of you doing that is slim to none because of look where
Oh, I
we
hate
are
that.
and blah blah
Yes.
blah. And it's
And it's
like,
and it's in the schools too.
yeah, and I even had people tell me that to my face. Like when I first started to realize, like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I started to do it, and with the help of some friends of mine. But when I started working at a salon, I had people like in my ear telling me because I'm looking at my work and I'm looking at theirs. I'm like, it's a difference. Like, but what are you doing different than me? And what did you do to get where you are?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I would ask them, they're like, oh, you too young. Like,
Dang, that's so crazy.
you'll figure it out. I mean, and granted, I did. I figured it out. It took
But
me a long
like really all you
time.
had to do was take that moment we was talking and show
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And
But
it's
people
like
be
I
worried. I
figured
remember
it
I
out
seen this thread on social media about the whole Mean Girls and the Girls Who Brunch movement. And I don't mean to use that word because I know that's the name of an actual event, but it be themed just like that.
though. Oh,
And
I
it's like
saw that.
they be
It was
selling
like
these
a
like,
podcast. They were
yeah, it
talking
was
about it.
Poor Minds that I always advocate. It's one of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, they was talking about like, for example, they'll sell these books like, oh, this is my ebook on how to do this, and it'll say something like, have a positive mind, wake up every day, and it's like, do you think that actually telling the truth would make you have competition? Because you clearly are ahead of me as it is. It's just lame. It's just like if you really girl women empowerment and for your people, you actually put the gym. You ain't got to tell every single detail, but sometimes people just need to jump off the porch. Give them what the tools to get started.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, And I think what's so crazy too, is the vendor selling thing.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
most of the time that's the I mean, and it sucks because people don't really know this. It's like you can literally find this stuff on Google.
I
Or
mean,
like
literally, you can open up Alibaba and look at like it's
yeah,
a lot, and a lot of them lists don't the vendors don't even be active, or like it don't even be.
yeah.
And it's
And it's
like if
like
these
y'all
are such
selling them
good
for so
vendors,
much
why you ain't
money.
selling this stuff?
So it's a mess. It's just like it's like I get it, like you want to make profit off of stuff, but it's just like I watch, and I hate to even say this, but I even watch how white people move with each other and
Hmm.
how they don't hold information from each other most of the time. They make sure that they good, and I hate the fact that we as a black community don't have that because it's like you see that I'm not being one of these type of people that's in the street that's like playing
Right.
games.
You should
I'm
have a good. You should
humbly
see that.
coming to you. I'm not because I can always tell when people do me like that.
Yeah.
Like when somebody come on to me, they're like, "Oh, put me on to your client," da, 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 da. And it's like you don't have a professional portfolio. You don't have a website. That you're very unprofessional. You're a clout chaser.
Yeah. You just doing too much. You're not even acting natural. You're not even trying to blend in.
I can feel it. You can
Hmm.
feel it. I can feel it in your approach. Now, when people come to me and they be like, I'm from Alabama, I'm from Mississippi, this place, and we don't have access to stuff like y'all do in Atlanta. What would you recommend for me to do? Because I know that I need to learn these type of techniques in order to be on the level that you at. What do I need to do? Stuff like that. I'll be like, okay,
Yeah. Like
see, you
literally have
tapped
some
in real.
tact.
Yeah, you tapped in. It ain't like, oh, put me on. I currently have people that are beefing with me
Oh
because
boy.
I didn't put 30 in for my clients. And it's like, what is that gonna do?
There's a way to want to be put on, but you need to like have some natural finesse to it. Like you just gotta ask questions. You don't just say put me on with this client. Like you do still have to earn your spot. And I feel like people might not have a problem connecting you if you have just shown your genuine interest to want to learn. But you're not just gonna be doing Michelle Obama makeup because I did Michelle Obama makeup. It's like that just kind of
Yeah.
downsizes the quality of work I did to get to that point. But
Yeah.
I think that people, people need to be willing to get feedback. I saw this TikTok. It was like, I told my friend about something that was bothering me about her, and I haven't talked to her in a year now. Basically, like she gave her friend some feedback, and her friend cut her off because she just wasn't open to like constructive criticism. I think people always think they have haters, and they think that people are always against them. But it's like in reality, I mean, there are some people that are harsh. Let's be very clear. But I think that people be so bothered when you tell them something bad about themselves that they get so defensive that they cut you off. So now you a hater because you ain't put them on because you want to protect your image with your client. It's like, well, if you're open to like doing this way instead of going about like you said, you want a picture with every celebrity, you want to tag them in every post. You're just doing too much. You're not even being like you need to just try to blend in, just be normal. Because now you
Yeah,
scaring
and
them
that's
away.
literally all is what it takes. That's literally all it takes because if we're being honest, in my industry, talent only gets you halfway there. Like if you
Hmm.
can do the makeup, that's great. Because it's so many people that you may see in higher positions than you that you may do better work better than. And the reason why they got there is because they got a natural finesse to them and they know how to work they set. That's
Hmm.
always my thing. They know how to work they set. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? They're not groupies. They're literally there to work. They listen. They don't take offense to every little detail. Like if they don't like it, what don't you like about it?
Put your
Try to
chin
figure
up. Yeah.
it's you got to tap in with the client. Like, hey, okay, cool. You don't like this. What don't you like about it, and what would you want me to do to fix it, or how would you like it instead? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
exactly. And
being
it's
receptive
just
to
it's just a normal part of life. You went to school, you was raised by parents, like all these people, all these places you had to get constructive feedback. But some people they just be so defensive about stuff. And it's like, all right, I
yeah.
don't even
It's
want to work
like
with you
I get it.
myself.
I get it. It's your art. You're sensitive about it, but at the same time, these people know how they want to look, and over time you're gonna learn that. And sometimes the client is like that. When you first do somebody, you ain't gonna always get it right. or you
Yeah.
it ain't always gonna be 100%. And that's what I get my clients to understand. The first time that I do you, it's probably not gonna be the best. It's gonna look good.
Mm-hmm.
But once I learn your face, once I learn what you like, and once we meet each other halfway, it's gonna look way better.
That's a good point. Cause I think that sometimes, I mean, cause makeup is kind of like a touchy thing. It's like you want to look perfect the first time, but I guess that makes sense too. You just kind of gotta,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta pay attention to detail for sure. But what I'm looking at and what I think that will look good on you, you may not be comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be your style. So it's like I have to learn you. I have to learn what you like. And then things change over time. Trends change. You have to learn how to switch it up. It's so many different things you got to do. So it's just, it's different. But I don't even know how I was going with that, but
Well, no, I get it. You just gotta. It's just so many. It's just. I just want everybody to win. I really do. I love
and you
seeing
can
people.
walk there, but honestly, you have to come to terms with everybody ain't got it.
You're right, and I don't mean literally every single person, but sometimes you see potential in people. You just be like, man, if you just stop cussing everybody out, they'll want to work with you. Like
No,
Albar V.
child. We
All
ain't
right.
gonna go there today, but she know what she knows what she doing wrong. I honestly feel like she has a mental issue
Yeah.
because there's no way you could be further than what you are because you had access to certain things and you have the resources to certain things, but it's something in your brain is just telling you
The
to do
need for
outbursts and
attention. Yeah.
you know what I'm
But the
saying? Like,
thing
it's
is,
just
her being that way has helped her though, in a way. So she probably still don't see it. Like she gonna have to literally be at. The thing is, she was like this before the fame. So her
yeah.
being how she is has been working for her, even though it gives her a lot of negative feedback. So it's like she never gonna learn a lesson.
I ain't got nothing to do with
Yeah, you're right. Next caller. All right.
that.
But yeah, dang, I didn't know what our I guess that was our topic. Just kind of just talking about, I know we talk a lot about people that be wanting to be put on and stuff like that, but it's just so much. Let me tell you something. I always, always, always try to like help some of my friends get into like data and tech jobs, but they just this the problem. They see all these success stories on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and people getting these big offers and doing all this stuff for doing little. And they think that that same thing is supposed to happen to them. But what they're not realizing, a lot of these people are getting these boot camp certifications. They have connections. They really are finessing, or they are truly lying. And I mean, do what you got to do to get in there. I'm just saying, do what you got to do to get in there. But they really, this is the problem. This is the problem I see the most when I help people with their resume. They want the opportunity to come to them by doing a bare minimum. I mean, their resume will literally say, did data entry from 8 to 5. And it's like, why in the world? Like, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I just need people to realize that everything is a game and a competition. And
Yeah.
that's not, that's not competitive. That's why you ask for somebody to do your resume. But they just throw something on there and then they complain. I had to delete a girl off LinkedIn today. She was like, I'm so sick and tired of getting denied. I just want somebody to take a chance on me. A chance is very risky. You need to convince me that you can take, like, come on, can you handle the test? And I looked at her resume on her page and I'm like, well, this is the problem. She's been taking the same exact position every company she went to for the last 7 years. So she haven't showed any kind of proof of growth or the ability to acquire new skills. They all say the same thing. It's like, well, why would they give you more when you clearly are comfortable doing what you was doing before? But I say all that to say is I just try to like tell people how to go about it because I don't think I got lucky. I just learned how to finesse. And I feel like since I've been allowed to work, I've been doing the same thing. Before college, I was finessing all my hourly retail jobs. Like I was doing the exact same thing, just on a different pay grade. I just think it's got to be in you, not on you. I know we said it before, but I just want people to like believe in themselves and see the opportunity, but like also match that with the effort that they put into it. Because I think the effort is what's stopping folks from getting the opportunity.
Yeah, for
But just
sure.
because somebody talking about they getting 6 figures, on Twitter, everybody wants 6 figures. But in reality, when you get there, you're gonna realize it ain't no goddamn money. Because the 6 figures got you wanting a nicer home and a nicer car and a nicer name. You taking home the same amount of money you taking home before. But I think people need to get out of that mindset thinking like, okay, I apply for this job. You can't apply for administrative assistant and think that they finna give you 100,000. You gotta earn it. It takes a few years in a lot of cases. But yeah, and they just want to do easy way out. Now there are easy routes, but you still gotta finesse those too, like I did.
Trust me. I'm learning that. I have to my finessing skills that I learned in Atlanta is gonna take me very far in LA, and I really believe that because just because I feel like out here, the reason why I moved is because I don't. It's not a lot of people out here that can do dark skin, and they can't really do like different styles on dark skin, like the stuff that they do on the lighter girls and white women. They cannot do that on brown skin women, and I can, and that's why I have that advantage. And so, and I can do it on light skin. I can do everything. I'm literally well rounded. I pride myself in that. But my finessing skills in Atlanta is, like I said, gonna is what's gonna take me far here because I know what I can do and I know what I can bring to the table confidently. But you gotta pay for that.
Yeah, period. I went on your website today. I was like, oh, well, whatever you posted about your website, I went to it. I'm like, I can't afford Draco, honey.
Oh, and that's too cheap. That's actually starter price.
Correct. I ain't mad at it though. Get it how you live. You deserve. I'm just saying. And you can't be charging chump change when you don't want chump change clients.
Mm-hmm. That's
especially when you got the experience. You've been doing this for a long time.
I made that post specifically for somebody. We'll talk about that off air, but
oh boy, we need to wrap anyway.
Yeah, I'll talk about it off air. But
yeah, I need some ideas on how to virtually celebrate my birthday. I was thinking about having a Zoom game night. I have a few ideas that'll keep everybody engaged. I'm not doing nothing in person. Am not folding. That's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. So I just need some ideas on how y'all think I should celebrate my birthday remotely, and send them over to me. You can DM to me, text them to me. You know how y'all do. But yeah, let me know.
And if you guys want to donate some money for me to buy my furniture for my apartment, let me know too.
Oh wow, not donate. You act like the people we were just talking about.
Oh, I ain't too proud.
Oh, also I'm COVID negative. Yay, God. Oh, shata.
Yeah, I tested. I did a home test, and then California is just so fire that they give you. You can do a PCR test at the airport once you get off the plane, and then they give you a at-home PCR test to ship off to a company, and they give you 2 rapid tests to take. Soon as like all of this is as soon as you get off an airplane from an international flight.
Wow.
All that. So my rapid ones are negative, but I'm waiting on the other PCR test, and then I haven't taken the at-home PCR test. I ain't left. The directions specifically say don't take the test until you're able to actually go drop it off. So I knew I wasn't leaving the house today. I don't even know my car. I don't even know if my car's still out.
Yeah, because you don't want your results to be tainted and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I don't even know my car's still out there. I ain't checked on it. I just came to the house. I ain't been out since. So
I feel you. I ain't leaving out the house for the rest of the week either. I'm just gonna collect my paycheck and buy a bed.
And walk your dog.
And walking like our dog says, oh God, it's cold weather and walking dogs do not miss. That's why I need a backyard so I can just open the door, tell her to run out there. That's the real reason. But I ain't trying to double my mortgage just for that.
Girl, you better go to the pet store and get you some the little fake grass pad that they.
Oh, you think we ain't got that?
Oh, you have it.
Oh, we got that, but she don't always use it. She uses it when she's sick, and let's just say that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I had to get it because she had her surgery and she didn't have a normal BM. But anyway, all right, y'all. Let's wrap. I don't know what this episode was about, but I hope y'all enjoyed. Holla at your girl.
Holla at your world and a girl next week, baby.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.